Today is January 3rd, 2023. Happy New Year to everybody. This is the Hannah City Village Council meeting. If everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Peter, if you could unmute. Are you here for anything to come before the board, or are you just following along the meeting?
Following along.
Okay, thank you, sir. Everybody should have a copy of the December 20th, 2022 council meeting minutes.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Johnson. I have a second by Sidak. Any further discussions, corrections, changes? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. No Brandon tonight? No Brandon. Well, that brings us down to you, Abby. Nope. Treasurer's report. Oh, sorry.
We don't have anything to report.
Okay.
There you go.
I skipped Cassandra tonight.
What about chocolate?
Yes.
I'm not full.
Okay. Treasurer's report.
It's very short tonight.
There are 3 payrolls, multiple payrolls.
There are multiple payrolls on there. Last week we did the regular weekly payroll. Then we did one payroll for the payout for PTO time for those who wanted to pay out 40 hours for PTO time. And then there's one payroll for bonuses. So you have 4 payroll sheets.
Make a motion to approve the report and pay all the outstanding bills.
Second.
A motion by Chair Raleigh, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call it. Miller,
Yes.
Pearson,
Yes.
Chair Raleigh,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
oh, Sidak,
Yes.
then Johnson.
Yes. Good to know.
Motion carried. I'm just forgetting everybody.
And
I am. It's a new year throwing me off. Okay, and then Abby did not have anything under the charge report. So administrator's report.
Yeah, there's no documents in your packet, but I do have just a couple of updates. We've been looking at getting quotes on the monument signs we put at each end of the village. We've got a meeting actually on Thursday. The initial rough quote I've got is $15,000 a piece, but I don't think that includes lighting, so that may change a little bit. We're gonna look at that more on Thursday, and then also understand what we have to do with either IDOT and or Ameren to get that done. But that's progressing. MFT planning meetings on 1/11, so we'll be doing that next week. That AZAVAR group that does the audit, we've gathered, I think, almost everything that they need and sent it off to them before the holidays. We're waiting to hear back if there's anything missing. If you're interested, service anniversaries for staff this month, Jim was January 2nd, Roger is January 7th, and Cassandra, 1 year on the 10th of January.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whole year.
So that's exciting. Don't want to steal Zach's thunder, but CEDC, we put out a reminder communication this week about the programs. The eligibility postcards will go out to the homes and businesses next week. We'll do another reminder the week of 1/23. The applications will come out February 1st. And then I'm going to probably schedule some time on the 7th of February, that meeting, to open it up. If anybody from the community has questions, they can come in and ask us, and we can address them at that time. I made some updates to the long-range plan and I mailed it out, but I don't really think there's anything we need to do on that until we get the budget draft for next fiscal year done. And we should have that done about the middle of February, somewhere in that time frame. And when we talk about water rates tonight, that'll have a pretty significant impact on. Got a fun email today, from Illinois Americans.
That's a first for that program, right? To give the people
Very first year.
money to. That's what I thought.
Yep.
I know it's been like posted on social media and stuff. Has there been a response on that?
Not really. And I've had some one-on-one conversations with people.
It is a really long post, so I understand.
But we'll get it. I think it'll hit 7 times. I think we added it up between now and the actual applications going out. So
February 7th will be like a one-stop shop. People can come in, ask questions, get help with the application, things like that.
yeah, well,
That's a good idea.
that's it. I'm working on financials for December in the new system, so fingers crossed.
I talked to Nicole on the 10th, so.
Takes us committee reports, finance, Mr. Chervali.
Not much, just like me and Brian plan to get together this week or next week. Do a little talking, try to get a little bit more of a plan together off what everybody said and go from there.
Okay.
End of report.
Planning and zoning,
Nothing to report.
sanitary sewer, Mr. Pearson.
Nothing for sanitary sewer.
Water, Mr. Pearson.
Yes, sir. We've got conversation to have about the water rate increase. So as it sits now, if we do nothing, we've got the 2.7% increase that will kick in. Initially, our thought was before today that maybe we talk about postponing that or lessening it or something just because we increased it like twice over the past year. But then we got the email from Illinois American that looks like it says it'll be a 65% increase over last year, the pricing coming from them.
Nice.
Yeah. So
The increase will be a 65% increase over last year's increase,
yes.
or 65% increase of the bill.
65% increase in the rate.
Really?
Yeah, I'll read it to you. Says the ICC, Illinois Commerce Commission, has issued a final order adjusting rates for Illinois American Water customers following an extensive examination of the investments to provide safe and reliable water and wastewater services. New rates will take effective January 1, 2023. This email was dated January 3rd, 2023.
It's a typical operating procedure.
The primary driver of this rate change is related to infrastructure investments, approximately $1.1 billion in investment across the state, which was not reflected in the rates. I mean, there's a whole paragraph as to what that $1.1 billion
They're
is.
basically doing what we're doing.
They call their investments buying everybody's water service.
So they're relining pipes and
And
they're doing what we're planning.
I did the math. I had Cassandra do the math. So if you're a municipality buying 22,400 gallons per month, your rate goes from about 58 cents to 96 cents, which the math says 65% increase. You're buying 426,000 gallons a month, it goes from 47 to 77, which is a 63, almost 64% increase. If you're buying 9,275,000 gallons, it goes from 38 cents to 65 cents. And only the big guys get it. It's only about a 40% increase for those that are about 10 million gallons and over. We're at what? 3.5 million or something like that. So we'd be in the
2.2
Yeah.
was last month.
It's usually like 2.3.
2.2.
You guys ever heard of a
2.3.
monopoly?
Yeah.
So we went in and I looked at what our year-to-date water purchases are and divided by 7, took it times 12, and it looks like we buy about $135,000 worth of water annually.
No, that's the increase.
I'm sorry, that's the increase.
That would be
Forgive
the
me.
increase if this.
Yeah,
this goes into
thank
effect.
you. So if it goes into, it'd be a $135,000 increase to our budget next year. 65% would be about $11,300 a month.
Abby, have you guys heard anything on this?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Did you hear anything on the water rates from the ICC and them dictating the rates going up?
We didn't hear anything from the ICC or anything that I'm aware of. I don't think Bill has either. When we were reviewing the agenda today, we didn't discuss that and he didn't bring it up with me. But I can look into that sort of thing if you would like.
Well, let's not. Yeah, I don't think you need to do anything at this point yet, Abby. I sent a email to Illinois American saying, "Hey, this is the math we did. Can you clarify, or did I mess something up?"
What was it per month?
$11,300 roughly.
More. That's
That's the increase
That's
in
the increase.
the total increase for the
cost of
village.
The village that much more.
Yeah, they said their users, it was an increase of somewhere between $3 and $16 a month based upon Peoria users is what.
And we were.
So they just give us new rates or something, or did they say you're going to increase 65%?
No, they gave us the rate. There's a rate table.
Oh, so you calculate and it's coming out to 65%.
Yeah,
Even though they're saying 3 to 17 for the Peoria users?
well,
Well,
that's
they're saying individual, right?
that's not the percentage. That's
Yeah,
the dollar amount.
that's what I mean.
So I don't know what they're charging for.
But that can't be half of anybody's bill. Nobody's got a $6 or a $34 bill or $38 bill, whatever it would be. I wouldn't think.
So I sent a note getting clarification as to have we done the math right? I don't know if you looked at it.
You know, once we get that figured out and get clarification from them, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of communities that are going to be filing something with the ICC like they did before.
What is our 2.7?
That was an
About
increase
4,000.
of 70 cents a month for minimum users. $8, almost $9 a year for minimum users, and $17 a year for.
So what's that come out monthly for us?
It was about
Not much.
19,000 for the year.
Not more than last year. That's I was trying to see how the.
Yeah, it would be more than last year. We were in the black last year.
Yeah.
For the 19,000 more.
No.
If I remember right, that's if Illinois American increased their rates 2.7%, I had it as a $19,000 annual increase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just something doesn't seem right in that email. If they're saying the Peoria customers are going up anywhere from $3 to $17, there's no way anybody would have a 40 or 60% increase and go up $3. No one would have a bill that low.
Look
The
up
minimum bill's gotta
ICC.
be-
Look up ICC on your web browser. It's the very first thing. It says it right there. So let's take.
Do we have a minimum build here?
Yeah, 2,000
Yeah.
gallons.
I mean, per
Mine says
Citizen.
National Cricket
Yeah.
Council.
It's like $56, right?
Can't remember.
So 19,000
Let me
is
see if I can-
1,500 a month. Did you look up Illinois?
Yeah, here's the thing from.
We were just getting water in the black. We had 1 month.
I'm hoping they made a math mistake on their rates when they sent them out. 'Cause it doesn't seem like it jives with the dollar amount they're saying that the Peoria customers would increase.
Well, I did the math.
All right, the monthly water service bill for per month with a 5/8 inch meter will increase between $3 and $16 per month. Depending on the service area, the typical resident's wastewater bill will increase $25 to $36 a month. We don't charge for wastewater.
Yeah, we do.
Here we go, sewer.
Oh, I'm
That's
sorry.
just a flat fee.
Storm sewer, we don't. Yeah, so they're.
Yeah, wastewater we do. Oh, that's not billed by Illinois American Water.
that's fair.
But it is based upon that rate.
So
Yeah.
even if we just do the water, it's $16 a rate. How many customers do we have?
630, something like that.
That's $16 raise. And our total customers is $10,080 per month.
Which is close. But that's a lot.
What's the minimum rate now? Does it mean? I don't know what I'm talking about.
50 to
Trying to find.
So, assuming it's correct, we've got a $135,000 problem.
Per year, not just once.
Yeah.
And what's it take for us to up? Just all of us vote on it, or is it gonna go through more?
Well, one option would be is we pass it on to the user.
Yeah, but we don't have much choice.
Well,
I mean, really.
yeah, you can't eat the whole thing.
I know,
Yeah,
but
but I mean,
It isn't
It
like
comes
everybody's
down
getting it
to-
up and you can't go anywhere else and get your water because someone American's going to hit them with, you know.
yeah, but it comes down to that if we have to sell the water, you're gonna get 65% right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then your
Yeah.
stuff's not necessarily gonna get fixed right
You'll
away.
go up again after they've had it a couple of years, like Farmington has.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll say, well, now we got to redo the whole system, and they'll hold it a couple of years, and then it'll go up. On top of that, it'll go up again.
Right.
Yeah,
What are we making on water right now?
We're about $4,000 for the year.
scratch.
I looked at the total surplus estimate for the year is around 170. So it
Okay.
would take up almost, if we took it all right now, it would take up almost the full surplus. Or we could do it over 2 years. And we
Yeah.
could do half of it this year and half of it the next, and tell our customers that the village is eating half for a year.
Leading it out.
Hey Jeff, the minimum water fee for water service shall be $27 per month for the first 2,000 gallons of water.
And
Plus sewer, plus
Right.
trash.
how many people do we even have under that?
Not half,
Half.
not half.
And then the
Half
next
of it.
step
Wow.
is from 2,000 to 70,000. It's $8.50 per thousand in addition to the 27.
So if you
So it
take
depends on how much you use.
Right.
so the water was
So does ours.
$27.
To the villages.
Minimum.
So if you take what 27 times 0.65, $17.
So the minimum's going to be
Roughly $44.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, puts us about. We'll still be below, I think, Farmington, but we wouldn't be.
Yeah, it'd be 44 plus whatever trash is, and plus whatever. What's trash? $15.
Yeah, but I think
Trash is a steal here in this town.
Oh yeah. If you're out getting your own trash service rural,
Oh.
it's insane what people are paying now.
People live in Hannah City, just
Pay 90
incorporated, are
bucks.
paying $100 just for their garbage.
Every what? Every 3 months? Yeah.
So
Double what we are in town.
I think Tracy said Farmington's water was twice ours, so
Yeah.
we'd go up to about what 80% of.
So a 5% increase keeps us in the black?
No. On water?
Yeah.
No, I mean, if we go up 65, we'd have to take a 65 or 63 or 2 or something like that.
because we're barely
Per customer. That's how I had it in my head, I guess.
if anything happens, would you say we make $4,000 a year off water?
Yeah.
So one water main break just flushes that profit right
Well,
now.
that's what we've been dealing
Right.
with. Before you came aboard, we were
We are
in the
putting.
negative.
We are
in
putting.
water.
First time we've been in the black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are putting $3,500 a month away for water, so you can cut the capital.
Is there a piecemeal solution we can take little bits from every? I mean, I'd be willing to offer up BDD money. I
don't
think
know that.
I think that's a viable.
But that's only going to deal with this year.
But you
Those
can use
rates
it
are
to
gonna
pay
be
water.
that forever.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
it has to be
Improvements,
tangible. like
infrastructure
improvement.
improvements
Yeah.
can be capital. But to your point, we could take. Suppose you could take $3,500 out of the general fund and no longer set that aside for capital and put BDD $3,500 over to capital. You could
Yeah,
could
for
do
a
it that
water
way.
tower or whatever.
You
Yeah.
could pay off the, even though it's 1.5%, we're pretty close to having the cash to pay off the sewer loan, and that would be $30,000 a year, another $30,000 a year.
But you said you did the math, the average. I know there was an average cost to customer for the 2.7.
Yeah, I haven't. I need
I
to.
don't know that.
I need to work through. Tracy wasn't here when we got the final details.
Like an
She's-
hour.
We can plug it in and look at.
$4. roughly?
We can plug it in and look at
Right.
like all the how many users we have in each.
Hopefully they email it
Bracket.
back and clarify and make sure it's correct.
But we think it's roughly, you're thinking it's going to be less than that 135?
I don't know. I'm not saying that.
Our total water purchases through,
It's like 73 cents a month.
I think we buy 17,000
Per gallon.
a month,
Right.
$18,000 or
$18,000 a month.
it varies depending on the month. Last month was 15. So
A
yeah,
year?
around there, 17.
I think the average that we buy.
You catch that?
$73 a month per customer.
No, 73 cents. If it goes up 2.7%,
Oh,
you move that, that's like 73 cents a month per customer.
right. So it barely affects you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we thought we were
But
getting.
that
is
was what we were supposed to be charging.
minor
for.
increases, keeping us, consistent with them because their average annual raise has been 2.7% over the last 10.
Well, I mean, it's not that shocking. Amber just went up 100%. I mean, less than a year ago. I'm sure they didn't mess up the writing.
Yeah, so it looks like we spend about $210,000 a year in water purchases.
Gas went up 100%. I mean, it's
You take that times 0.65, and that's 136.5. It was actually like 207 or 208 when we did it. So
sounds like they're being generous.
Well, maybe they'll come and fix our water.
they do.
They won't even buy it off
They
us
want
now.
you to circle the bowl, fail so they can purchase your system.
We
For nothing.
probably need to make a vote next week because it says it's starting in January. So we're probably going to take a $10,000, $11,000 hit this month.
Because they're not buying right now.
Abby,
Everything
we have one question. The way the code is written today, our water rate code, it says if we do nothing, we automatically increase 2.7% every January.
Well, you cut out for a second. Can you please repeat that?
Yeah, the way the ordinance is written, it says if the village board doesn't vote on anything, then we take a 2.7% increase on water every January. If the board wants to decrease or increase that, it has to vote. My question for you is, for the next meeting, I need to understand what that means to vote. Can we just have a vote, or do we have to have an ordinance, or what does that look like?
Yeah,
We're going to have to change the ordinance.
No.
Yeah, I think you'll have to change.
The ordinance says it's 2.7 unless you vote to make it higher or lower. The ordinance doesn't have to change, just a vote to make it higher or lower.
But that rate has to be reflected in
But-
the ordinance.
Right, because we have in the ordinance $27. We have $8.50 per thousand.
Because the
It's
ordinance
written
spells
in
out
there.
what they are. So we'll have to change to spell out what they become.
Yeah. So that automatic raise would be reflected in an ordinance we passed every year, probably, even though it's in there, that'd be automatic.
I guess, Abby, the thing I need to know is what do we need to do at the next meeting in order to improve? We're going to have to take a rate increase most likely, assuming that the math is right and we get that confirmed. The question is, what do we have to do to increase it more than what the ordinance currently says, which is 2.7%?
Okay. Yeah, I will read the ordinance. And do you mind if I send you an email tomorrow after I review everything?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have my email?
I can get it from Bill.
Okay. And then once I know what the increase is going to be, I guess you and I can talk and decide.
Yep, sounds good.
So how do you guys, what's your gut tell you on taking it all, or?
But we can't take it all. We can't wipe out our capital savings to get a tower, or else if you don't pass it on, then
So if you cut it in half, let's call it, if my math's right, $69,000 increase. If we end up with a surplus this year of 170, we'd have a $100,000 surplus to play with.
is that counting the 3,500 that's put away a month?
Yeah. I netted out the capital we already took out. I netted out the ARPA money. It's not perfect, but it's close. And it assumes that the next 3 months or 4 months are going to be the same as the last 7, or the next 5 are going to be the same as the last 7, which may not be true.
When does this take effect for them? You're saying it's already this month?
Yeah.
I saying it took effect 2 days before they sent the email.
That's not even legal, is it?
Definitely not great.
That's their notification.
Well, she said it does.
We get notification, but there's nothing we can do about it, that they are going to the ICC or whatever.
You would have thought we would have got. They've known about this forever. You would have thought we would have got a letter.
Well, it says in here, I'm following up on a previous notification that the ICC has now finalized the order for adjusting rates. Well, we did not get a previous notification. Maybe they posted something. I don't know. And
Unless it was,
and this makes it sound like ICC didn't finalize it till now.
unless it was from like a year ago.
It
We were
was
notified
in
that they were
summer
gonna go for
because
it.
Bill and I could discuss it. He said he was not attending because the lawyers can attend, but he said there were several municipalities that were sending lawyers.
Yeah, but then this says that they just issued a final order, so I don't know what that means. So, plan of action, hopefully this gal will get back to me. If not, I'll call her, and we'll confirm what we think it is. I'll work with Tracy to get a better number on what we think it would actually be, and then we're thinking 50-50? Do it over 2 years?
Yeah, I'm pretty loath to push everything onto the community, but at the same time, we'd be kind of shooting ourselves in the foot if we just decide to eat it all up. You still got to think for the future.
But we got to get confirmation on that. I need the original email too that you got, Brian. If you could forward that to me.
But the more we
So what's
take,
the
the better.
I wouldn't eat more than 50.
What's the estimate? The average person's bill's going to go up. $20 a month, $30 a month.
17.
17 to
17 to 20 or so.
In
Well,
the
that's-
world,
that's-
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't look what gas prices are. If I need gas, I stick the thing in my pump and I pump it.
Yeah.
That's if we do the full 65%. It'll go up $17.
Yeah,
If we cut it in half,
Yeah.
We just have a lot of elderly on fixed incomes.
yeah.
With already low water bills, though. I mean,
if you take what we've already done almost 30, right? So they're pushing
and the elderly aren't using the full, so 17 is
a
the higher.
100% increase over 3 years.
Yeah. Well, our bills have always been crazy low. I mean, what we paid combined for all 3 items was always been really cheap, and
Can we make it take effect in a few months?
we can make it take effect.
We can, but we're still
We're still
going to
going to
pay.
pay. Sure.
Yeah.
We can have the rate effective whenever we want. It's just we're going to lose every month where.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously already eat 100% of the first month, probably.
Right.
So,
We're going to
So, yeah,
eat 10 or 11 grand.
And just be careful. I don't want to turn around and do the same. I don't care if we pass all of it on to the consumer myself, being one of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is, but I don't want to do what Illinois American Water did to us. I'd like to tell them,
Yeah.
Give them some time.
yeah,
I think the 50-50 plan is the most sound.
2 or 3 months, and then this is all
Yeah.
you guys. I mean, this is.
We could give them a couple months notice to pass on 100% of it. I mean, otherwise you're kicking the can down the road because eventually you got to do the tower. We got to do, you have to do that.
We're not spending our water, profits on the tower, but if we start spending our other profits on water, then
Well, we were just
start
getting to a
losing our
place
money.
where we felt like we had each of the utilities breaking even at least.
Yeah. With money being put away because we knew we had to do that work with some water main work around it. Now, granted, it's not going to cover the cost of the tower, but it'll get,
That's
There's
kind of
no
my point is
cash
not
there.
coming in the middle of all this, but you guys have all worked hard to get this city righted, and now we're looking at what do you say, a month? It's been or at least just got in the black.
like a month or two.
now we're gonna
Yeah.
get shot in the foot right away.
And even if we give them a month's notice or 2 months' notice, we're already going to eat $22,000 of that yearly. I mean, so we'll already be technically offsetting that already by covering the first couple months of the raise 100%. Yeah.
At least
So I mean,
they're
technically, we wouldn't be
good.
passing on 100% of it. We'd be passing on 100% of the final 9 months of it, or something like that. We'd be eating. We'd only be passing on 75% of the things. We'd be eating the first 25%.
mean,
You
in
know.
30 days notice, it's not like they're all gonna go get a job that makes them
Yeah.
$18 more a month.
Yeah.
30 days, I mean,
I think that's fair. I think
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
they're not passing an ordinance or anything like we would have to do.
Yeah. You take the first 2 months of it, if we did that,
Well, we
then,
can,
you know,
we can decide when we write the ordinance,
yeah.
when we want it to go into effect. Excuse me.
They should have been going up 5-6% every year.
Yeah, exactly. They're I mean, to have
Well,
to make
up till
that big
now-
of an increase is a heck of a
Up
lot.
till now, their average increase, excuse me, has been 2.7.
Yeah.
It's just like a cost of living increase, basically.
We took a 21% or 22% just to catch up.
Well, if they doubled that for the past 10 years, this would probably be a 10% increase.
Then the next question is, did they increase again next year?
And then not tell us.
If they
Well,
do.
they have to go to the ICC to get an approval. They cannot just raise.
That's what controls,
Right,
like
Yeah.
Silco and all that.
right, but they've let them,
They don't tell them no.
no, they haven't.
The only time they tell them no is when there's feedback and kickback from the communities, and they send their lawyers up and file
But they,
paperwork.
I was told they sent lawyers.
Yeah, I think I think Bill filed something for the first one.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we still got it.
So what I'm hearing is confirm, put together a proposal, give people a little leeway,
Yeah.
and then
That'd
take
be
at least half.
And
Yeah.
I would say explain it as well as we can.
That too.
Yeah, I mean, the people that'll at least sit down and read that article from us.
If you only make it half, you're
We're
eating
not
over
trying to get
half.
rich. This is
Because you're already if you make it half, you're eating over half because you're already eating the first 2 months if we give them notice. So weed's got to be more than half. It's got to be.
Which has
So
decided to
everybody
take
sitting
this
here's Bill.
raise on our own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm voting my own increase. Yeah.
I mean, if mine goes up $17, I mean, it's not gonna break me.
No.
No, but it's just the
Yeah.
Well,
So it's 10 different items.
3
a month
years,
to go up 10 bucks a
3 years
piece.
of getting right is what bugs me.
Yeah,
Because now-
exactly. Yeah. It couldn't have come at a worse time. We fought 3 years to all the figuring and math you've done to get us to the point that it gets torpedoed.
As long as they understand we're just trying to break even.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, it isn't a,
We're either asking them for more money or we're spending their money
you know,
to pay
Yeah.
a bill to save them from spending their money.
yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Money you've already collected from them will be going to pay for that and not the other things in town that you want to see, so.
Well, and the people who use the smallest amount of money are now, their money's being used to eat it for the people that spend a lot. of water.
Yeah.
So,
Well, then what if we have to do a water tower? Because I think we had that estimated as a $7 to $10 a month increase.
well, that all depends on our loans and
And you could make that a temporary that goes away. You know.
Yeah, you could do.
by the time we get there, it'll be there.
Well, I know with East Peoria,
Say that line.
East Peoria, when they did their new treatment center, they did a separate line item on their bills for
Oh, that they could then, so you could see that line item go away.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was a separate line item. It wasn't built into their water or their sewer, or I think they would have different garbage. But it wasn't part of that bill. It was part of that bill, but it was a separate line item.
We're taking $5 from you just for this.
Yep, and they,
Yeah.
and they did it over a certain amount of period. I think it was 3 years, and
It didn't get muddied into the wash of your regular water bill. Then that time was over, you saw that line item disappear. You didn't have to be like, well, really with the raise increases, it just there and then gone. Then you treat the water bill as the water bill every year. That thing just stays off on its own, and then you can get rid of it, and then you don't have to worry about. Yeah, that's it.
Like, say,
I see why you could do
half
that.
of our customers are paying the minimum.
The minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of.
I guess the other half of us need to take shorter showers.
A lot of elderly people that shower every day or two.
It may not be
Barely any dishes, barely any laundry.
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you
Toilet
what,
flush a couple times a day. I mean,
Sophie
there's
and
just no water
Jesse
going
were
down.
at home.
Gallons.
My
Yeah,
bill
I mean,
was double.
Here's
what it
something
is
some of
right
these
now.
people
I
probably
mean,
use.
literally, I was paying over $100. So this would make it,
Yeah,
you
you're
know.
older if you just stay in the
I think
house.
there were a
You may
couple
shower
times I
couple
paid
days.
$30.
You're not doing a lot, you know.
yeah,
But there's a minimum.
So-
Especially during the winter when you're not going out Whatever.
So we're doing the same thing regardless.
Yeah.
My natural gas has went up. Like,
Everything's
I
gone.
like, I swear 6,
When do we
7 years
normally
ago,
get
I
the
think in the
water bill?
summertime, I
What
get
time? Well, the next one, we
$20
won't get
bills.
January till
You
middle.
know, now it's like,
And by then we'll already be,
We'll know for sure what's going on about it.
and already have 2 months behind.
And what's our new estimation after finding all the leaks we found already? What percentage are we losing?
28 roughly percent.
With that one over there gone,
Well, no, I mean, with the two that we found, we may be,
knock a couple points off maybe.
maybe have found 3 or 4%, maybe something like that.
Well, that's a lot better than we were doing, so.
Yeah.
I
And
just
if we
think
do
we
a
get a
tower and
company-
start working mains up,
It might be worth the,
We'll find out.
it might be worth the $2 or $3 grand to do another leak analysis. I mean, if we could find it, there's another
I think it's worth it.
15 grand a year.
28% of our water?
I'm like,
If they find half of that,
can
it's
Jim
worth it.
turn that?
Yeah,
Last
well,
time they
most
did it, they
CSI?
found 0.
Most
Because
municipalities
we'll find the leaks.
lose like 12%, about half that anyway. So you're gonna find the best you can do is go from 28 to maybe 12 or 15 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Ryan. Maybe we wait till we get a water tower before you do another leak analysis.
I don't know. I kind of like to see if we could find leaks before we put the tower in, so we know where we can maybe tighten some things up.
Would just be basing off the fact that the last people that did it didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah, I guess what to me it's a
Jim
matter of,
has some pretty good reasons why he thinks that.
Yes, he
but-
did say.
to me it's a matter of what the quote is. If it's a couple grand,
Yeah, exactly.
Which he thinks it'd probably be 2 or 3 or something like that.
okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So happy New Year.
Can we stop talking about water every meeting now?
Okay.
No, I think that's gonna go on at least for a couple more.
If you would do your job, you wouldn't have to.
Oh, okay. That's a kick in the gut.
Good work, Brian.
Rod told me he didn't have anything.
I guess it could be worse. We could not be at break even. We could be operating in a deficit, not a
I
surplus.
didn't find out you're.
If we were where we were a couple years ago, and got hit with this again,
I just think it's important before we do this.
Communicate.
Well, we do have
A lot of
We do
communication.
have an agenda vote item for the 2023 water rate increase. I will entertain a motion to table that until the next meeting.
So moved.
second.
Motion by Chair Volley, second by Pearson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Tabled until 17th.
And I don't think it's a bad idea to communicate even what our other plans are with the water tower and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, as specific as possible for the half of the village that'll actually read it.
Well, that's the challenge, right? You got to make it at the right level so people understand it, and simple and repetitive.
I just think when they come in here 30 days after we send the letter and ask us why this is happening,
Now,
we hand them the letter that was dated 30 days ago, not like Illinois
you're
Liquid Water.
absolutely right. This is part of Tracy's new role, and we expanded her hours was to help us proactively communicate and it's helped a bunch. It really has. Yeah, this won't be well received. Understandably.
I don't know. I don't even pay attention to my. I just pay.
Anything
How
else
many
on
people
water?
in that boat?
Yeah.
Mine's auto pay.
That's everything set up.
What's a
auto pay.
large amount of people when something like this happens and you guys make an increase? I mean, what is a large amount of complaints, of questioning? Is this a handful of
Like
people?
when we did
30.
when we did the 22% or whatever it was, most of what
5%
happens
decals.
most of what happens is you get Hannah City happenings noise,
Sure.
and that's probably the 20 or 30 people, and then you'll have 10 that might call or ask questions or want to talk to somebody or whatever, and then you'll have another 10 that or more that didn't know anything until they got their bill, and then they see the higher number and they call and go, "What's going on?"
Sure.
Mostly.
Yeah, you don't want them panicking that they have a water leak or something either, because they might not even look at the rate math and They probably do have a water leak, but that's not the reason.
Moving on, nothing under buildings and ground?
Nope.
No.
Nothing under sewer?
Nope.
Okay. CEDC, Mr. Sidak.
Well, Brian pretty much already hit everything about the new program, but I think we're shooting for February to be the next CEDC meeting.
We may. It depends on if we have the monument signs ready for them to look at, discuss, and approve before we bring to the board. We might do one in late February, early March. Otherwise, we really don't have, if the applications go out February 1st, we probably won't have them back. As soon as we start getting them back, we would have one. So I would say mid-March, maybe.
Well, that's about all I have to say. End of report.
Okay, thank you. Administration, Mr. Miller.
Nothing to report.
Just FYI, the next meeting is on the 17th, and then we've got, there's 5 Tuesdays in January. I think the 31st is a Tuesday. So that means there'll be an extra week in there before we have the first February meeting. So we probably need to decide what we're going to do.
No.
Did I look at it wrong?
Oh, well, there's 2. Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
For once.
I can't read a calendar either.
Calendars and maps. Get a map.
December 11th through December 17th, there were 11 calls.
Through what date? Through.
December 11th through the 17th.
Okay.
And none of those were fire calls.
Yeah, I had like 4. I don't know if I erased an email.
See, we had a very serious incident in town.
Yeah, it went off today like 3 times, didn't it?
Well, that was the test every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the
Yeah,
month.
but even despite that, I know it went off at least twice.
No, I heard we had like a child.
I didn't hear that
Our
call.
father's being charged for breaking his child's skull.
Was that here? I saw the article, but I didn't read the.
The one I
didn't
seen
read
said
that.
Ham City,
Really? I saw the guy was arrested.
which could be not in our,
Yeah, it could be a rural.
Jurisdiction,
Yeah,
yeah.
it could be on Taylor Road or something too.
Yeah, I thought that was in Peoria.
mine
It
said
said
Ham City.
Peoria.
Maybe that was
I
twice.
know it's about those muckrakers. They'll just say whatever comes. First thing they hear, they'll put it on the paper.
Yeah, same.
Anybody think of anything that we need for the next agenda other than the water rate ordinance off the top of your head for your area?
Jim will be celebrating 32 years, or has, effective the 2nd of January. We've got him a gift for his 32 years of service since when I started 2 years ago. I didn't do anything for his 30. So let's hopefully try to make up for that. We'll try to stay on top of everybody's anniversary dates. Because Fred used to do all that. He never passed any of that along to me. So.
We should just wait till the 40th and then just make it around.
No. So, next board meeting is January 17th, 2023, 6 p.m. Is there anything else to come before the board? With that, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Abby.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Good night.